Well, two cameras rolling in action here. I've finally met up with Nick from Avon Angling. I've invited him down. He's made the way down from Warwickshire. Still a bit of snow on the ground down south, but it is melting. As I say, I've invited him down. We're going to be fishing the river today, doing a bit of roving about, and it's nice to finally meet you, Nick.
Nice to finally meet you. Lovely to be here after the snow just starting to recede away. Down here, I'm really looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it for weeks since we've since we've arranged it, and was a bit worried at one point I wasn't going to get here over the last few days. But as I say, the snow is just starting to leave us, so brilliant.
Yeah, it's looking quite nice. Anyway, we're going to do a spot of roaming about, hopping, leapfrogging each other, and fishing a few swims. See if there's a few chub about or perch, etc. But preferably if there's a few big old grey lips about to snaffle up some bread, cheese paste, krill paste, you name it. And yeah, that's the sum of it. We're just going to have an enjoyable day, and as always, I'm really hoping, always when a guest comes down, that that you get a fish or two.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, you do as well, though. Of course.
Yeah, that would be nice. But it'd just be good to be able to meet up, have a chat, and not always put the world to the rights, but enjoy a bit of fishing.
I'm doing a good job of it so far.
Yeah, not too bad.
No, that's brilliant. No, I'm really looking forward to it. That's a beautiful looking river. I mean, it's obviously a bit different to what I normally do, so here to learn a thing or two from the legend.
I don't know about legend, but thank you. You're too kind. Yeah, it's a nice river. I mean, there's some cracking fish in it: chub, barbel, roach, perch. From a specialist angler's point of view, be that for barbel, chub, roach, or just spending a day on the centre bin, stick float, and running it through various swims for your bits and pieces and specimen roach. It's a cracking little river, and I'm hopeful. As I say, we've got the snow melt, temperature's quite nice, water clarity's good, river level's quite nice. The river's around about 38. That's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Otherwise they would be boiling, wouldn't they? Yeah, so yeah, hopefully we'll get a fish or two.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. See you in a short while.
See you in a while, guys.
Well guys, thanks to Mark for having me down. Thanks for being so welcoming. It's Saturday the 3rd of March today. As I said, the snow is starting to melt, as you can see. Although when I left Warwickshire, I walked to my car, there was about 4 inches of snow in my clothes. But there's a lot less down here, just 3 or 4 degrees warmer down here than at home, and it's definitely got the snow on the melt, so I think we've definitely picked the right day. I think if we had left it till tomorrow, which is supposed to be much milder, I think a lot of the snow melt would have gone in the water and possibly killed the sport. Anyway, first swim he's put me in, he said is his banker swim, so hopefully I can not mess it up. What we've got is on the inside here, we've got the current coming through a snag, which is over here. The current's pushing through here. There's a lovely bay you can probably see on the other side over there, which is pretty slack. So what I'm going to do is fish under the cover just over there in that slack area. He suggested I try on bread. I put a few little bits of ground bait in, just small golf ball sized pieces of ground bait, which is just a loaf which I've blitzed up in the mincer at home in the food processor. And what I've done is took literally a handful of krill boilies, blitzed them up to powder like we did when we made the paste, and put those in the ground bait as well, just to give it a little bit of flavour. He suggested I start off on bread, so that's what I'm going to do. Take notice of the local guys. So guys, to just quickly run you through the gear, just got my light ledger rods with me. I've actually got a float rod with me as well, just to cover all the bases. Might do a little bit of float fishing maybe later. I'm going to start off on the light ledger gear, same as you've seen me use many times before, but this time rather than a feeder or a largely bomb, I've gone to the link ledger because I'm only stringing the bait out, maybe 5 meters, so hardly need any weight, and it's pretty slack over there, so you know, don't need much weight to hold the bottom. So right, I'm going to get casting. Go for it. Wow, didn't take long. Well, Mark said he put up a scrap in this current. Oh my god, I've only been here 15 minutes. Wow. Hey, it's not a monster, but brilliant, really pleased. Give him a rest after that fight and then we'll have a look at him. Well guys, wow, a chub in the snow, over the moon. Hardly been here any time at all, unbelievable. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark. He's about 100 meters away up there. Second cast. First one I didn't put in a very good position. I only left it sort of 5 minutes or so and hadn't been in long at all again. Wow. There we go. On the bread flake. That's fantastic. Absolutely over the moon. It's made the journey worthwhile already, and I say we've careful. Sound like John Wilson. Made the trip worthwhile already. It's absolutely fantastic. About £3 or so, something like that. But wow, what a fish. Mark's signalling to me. I think he wants to take a picture. Fantastic. Well guys, my goodness, what a start. And what a scrap. Mark said, you know, you get it in that current, it'll give you a right scrap, and really put a bend in this rod. Wow. Anyway, I've just spoken to Mark and he said no problem with carrying on in this swim. He said you'll get 3 or 4 out of here possibly, so I'm going to stick it out here for a bit longer and see if we can't have another one. Wow. Right guys, what we've done, we've moved perhaps a couple of 100 metres, something like that, downstream. I did have one more bite in that swim on worm. I had a proper rustle, not a huge bite, but a rustle, and I was ready and nothing else happened. And I brought the worm in and it was a bit chewed, so it was definitely a bite. And then I gave it probably another, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after that, 10 or 15 minutes, and nothing else was happening. I just thought, why are you sat here? You know, you've got the chance to rove down this beautiful section of river and you just sat in one swim. So I got off my ass and moved, and actually bumped into Mark on the way. So he's put me in another spot here. It's got a couple of 3 swims I can fish in about a 50-metre stretch here. There's a nice run behind me, as you can probably see if I get out of the way there. And also it tells me downstream there, if I spin you around, you'll see on the opposite bank a couple of trees just over there, there even. And what I'm going to do is I'll get down there, give this maybe 20 minutes here, just a nice steady run, just run a bait around, just see how I get on in here. And then move down there. And what I was saying about it being warm earlier, cancel that. The wind's picked up, it's absolutely freezing. I can hardly feel my fingers. So time for a cup of coffee, I think. Break out the flask, but we're fishing, so the first thing to do is get bait in the water. Well guys, we've moved again, day of roaming of course, moved again to a nice straight-ish section, as you'll see when I pull the camera around in a second. Mike tells me last time he fished here he had one out of this swim. He's fishing a little bit further on up there. He'd hadn't had any bites till about 5 or 10 minutes ago, but he's had a knock in that swim that he's in now, so fingers crossed for him. Hopefully he can have one out. water temperature's dropping because what's happening is these snowdrifts you can see on the bank on the other side are melting and falling into the water. And we're down 2 degrees. That 2 degrees Fahrenheit is probably about a degree-ish, roughly, centigrade since we started. The time now, if we have a quick look, is just 3:30. So we're, I think the plan is to fish into dark, and we were going to fish pretty much till we're fed up. I think that's the idea. But we're fishing to dark, that's the plan. It's not too pleasant at the moment, this wind. It's certainly picked up and it's swung around to the north, so put a nice bit of ripple on the water, but it's making a certain angler's fingers very cold. Anyway, that's what pockets are for, I guess. So I'm going to get casting here, and hopefully we can have one out. Well guys, it's pretty hard going. As I say, the water temperature's dropping, and the sun was out, and I'm sure that was having an effect, but I'm not sure how it'll come out on the camera, but it's gone really dark now. It's only just gone 4 o'clock, but it looks like the sky's full of snow, to be honest with you. There wasn't any forecast today for here, but I think we might get a few flurries. That's not going to help the fishing either, is it? But you know, the water temperature's dropping, but we can only do what we can do. We're here, and I think if we do put a bait on the nose of a fish, I'm sure they'll take it, to be honest with you. So anyway, we've come a bit further up the stretch now, into an area, as you can see behind me, it's really wooded on both banks. Really snaggy area. There's a swim just by this post here, you can see over there, should I say. And you can probably just see the river in there. It's very narrow here, but very snaggy, very chubby looking. It's a bit hit and hold as well. Put a bit of ground bait in here, just some minced up bread, and I'm going to try worm, I think, first off. Mark's had a few knocks where he is. He's just a little bit further upstream. Nothing as of yet, so come on Mark, I want you to have a fish, and I'm going to try and get one over here.
dear. Oh no. That was a good fish.
Well guys, it's about 5:30 now. Unfortunately, Mark's lost a fish. Real snaggy area up there. I mean, it's just crazy snaggy. Had a bite of bread, and well, as you can see here, played it for a few seconds and then did him. So it felt like a decent fish as well. And as you can probably see from my tyre, it is raining. It's warmed up a tiny little bit, but it is raining, and if you can hear that spit spot on the cover I've got on the camera, then sorry about that, but don't want the water getting into the electrics or anything. So anyway, we've come a little bit further along because that little bit's gone dead now since that Mark lost that fish. We've got a similar sort of area here, just the start of an area, if you can see over here, where the trees literally come the whole way across the river. So basically this is a swim above this other snaggy stretch, and I'm just going to fish this top one here. Mark's gone off down there. I'm going to fish this top one here and just try and run a bait underneath, or perhaps draw the fish out just a little bit with a little bit of ground bait. So fingers crossed. Well guys, we've moved a bit further on up. What I've done is I've stuck the camera in infrared mode so you can see what's going on. That's why I look all green. Just moved to another swim. I just cast in 2 minutes, had a bite, struck, felt the fish off. Oh, gutted. It's sort of 6:15 now. We're going to stick it out anyway. Mark's had a couple of bites where he is as well. As I say, we're in infrared now, which means I can fish in the dark basically without putting my light on. But as soon as anything happens, don't worry, you'll see it. Got something. He's determined to get under these trees. Feels like a nice fish. Yes. Well guys, there we are. Hard earned this one. It's raining, there's snow in the background as you can see. Whee. The water's getting colder by the minute, but Mark's put me into one of his other hotspot swims as it got dark, and I've had a few knocks, and then finally I had several knocks. This one has got stage fright, and this beauty came in. Was about 3.5 pound ish. We just weighed it.
Well, £3.13.
3.13.
It's a nice looking fish, isn't it?
But it's got the head of a much bigger fish.
Just...
But yes, very hard earned this one. She doesn't like the camera much, so we're going to get her back in the water. Fantastic.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Mark. Ooh, and again, doesn't like the light, I think.
Doesn't, yeah. Right, just turn its head a bit towards me. That's great, yeah, brilliant. Done.
Fab. Thanks, mate.
Welcome.
You're right. My lovely, just get you back in the water. Well guys, unfortunately no more fish. We've hardly even had a rustle. I've had possibly a couple of bites. It's very difficult because the river's rising at the moment with all the snow melt. Lots of debris coming down, so a couple of times may have had a bite, not sure. But we've worked our way back down the stretch, back towards the car, and we're nearly back now, but unfortunately nothing else has happened.
Oh, it's been we've scratched around today a bit with the snow melt, and the river level has increased. I mean, you had the first fish around about half an hour after getting down, which we did about 1:30ish.
Yeah.
Then we had that
Off to a great start.
Yeah, that was really good. Then we had that gap, and then I had that one that I lost at 5 o'clock, which was gutting in that kind of bit of a killer
in the jungle.
swim. Yeah, a bit of a take
jungle.
no prisoners kind of swim.
Yeah.
And then big gap again, and then you had that one at 7:15.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously I am gutted that I didn't get to see what that fish was, and that's that's the way fishing goes. You spin the roulette wheel, and sometimes
it is. And I'm sure you have put me in all the good swims.
Oh
so
no,
your hospitality.
I would always. I like my guests to catch, and you've travelled down from Warwickshire, and so it's a fair way to come from. And I'm just, when you had that first fish, I was relieved. Pressure's kind of off.
Pressure's gone.
And and you had a couple, so I'm really chuffed for that.
I'm really pleased. I'm just a little bit sad for you, but
that's the way it goes.
It is the way it goes. But it's been hard going, definitely.
Yeah, we've scratched about. We could have had 3 fish in total, but that's what we, some people say, who are not fishermen, they say you must be mad, but as anglers, you chaps know as much as we do. It's what you do and it's what you enjoy, and come what may. We've well, I've obviously had a chance and lost one. Nick's caught a couple, which is brilliant.
Thanks to Mark.
Well, it's just nice to have you down after we've been chatting.
No, it's fantastic. And it's really appreciate the invitation, and your hospitality's been fantastic.
Nice.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
And to be honest, we've had the snow. We're caked in mud. It's been raining, blowing a gale. Yeah. It's cold, as you can see from our breath. But still had a fantastic day, to be honest. Yeah, the only slight thing is that Mark didn't put one on the bank, but apart from that, I've had a brilliant time, absolutely brilliant time.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing, and as I say, I'm really happy that you caught. More than happy. But yeah, I think it's about time we headed off.
Time to go home.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling, and if you want to keep in touch, stick something in the comments below or on my Facebook page. And as I say, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again very soon.
Take care. Goodbye.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
thank you.
More than welcome.